Hey guys, welcome to Creative Minds. This is Gerard.
Welcome, welcome. There's Emilio.
Welcome, to Brian.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? How was the week? We always start by checking in and just discussing how the week was. Emilio.
The
Oh,
week was
oh,
good, man. Just the stocks and the crypto how they're going down, but so far here in the center it's good. It's going good.
yeah, yeah. Brian, how do you feel about the week? I mean, it's Thursday, right? So just one
Man,
more day left.
I've been trying not to look at the stock market. Man. Everything's been down. Crypto's been down. Stock market's been down, but I'm not selling. So I'm holding. Other than that,
Yeah. So
but
that's
Buying
the
more.
thing. Yeah, I was just gonna chime in and say that that's the sentiment this week. The stock market and cryptocurrency just going down, just tanking.
mm,
And this is something that has happened before. This is not the very first time. But the question is, what exactly do we, as small investors or big investors, what do we do about that? Because these are things that are always going to happen in the market, where where the stock market crashes or the cryptocurrency crashes. But during this episode of our show, we are going to focus more on what actually happened and why is it that the stock market and the cryptocurrency have been going down. But it seems like there's a very slight bump in the market, but overall the market is down, right? Now, what do you take of that, Emilio? What's your feeling about the market going down, going up? How do you handle it?
Uh, I'll go based on this right here. It's just to give us a better understanding. It's a story that comes from a book that I read a while back by the name of Think and Go Rich by Napoleon Hill. You guys should check it out. And inside there's a short story called 3 Feet Away from Gold. Now there's this guy who bought a landmine. I mean a landmine. I mean a mine, a gold mine. He's trying to mine the gold or
Right,
whatever.
right, right,
And he bought all this machinery and he began to dig and kept digging and digging and nothing, to the point where he got disappointed. So he ended up selling everything. So the next person who ended up buying it and acquiring the land began digging right where the last person left off. And guess what? After like digging 3 feet, he struck gold. But the moral of the story for what you're saying is, coming back to like the stock and cryptocurrency markets is whenever you get disappointed because the markets are down, do not uh you shouldn't just feel like scared or anything at that point, because the market
right.
could go up and down at any given time. It could be the next day and it could just skyrocket. So there will always be ups and downs. Just keep that in mind. So uh whenever it's going like that, just always remember that it's just a small setback for a great comeback. But that's just my thought on
Absolutely.
that.
I like that. A great setback for a good comeback.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Brian, what's your take on the market? Going
we're
up, going down.
the market's going through. We're going through a very strange time. We've been dealing with this pandemic for over 2 years now, and it's just important for people to like know to hold on. Uh, all that money he made last year, all the stocks he bought, like you don't want to start the new year off by just selling and then you being at a total loss. Don't get too scared because the markets it bounced back after the last crash, and same thing, it's going to come back. So you just got to invest and just believe in what you bought. It's going to make it for you. So just hold on.
Yeah, I do agree with you guys because this is not the first time, and it's going to happen again, right? The market is always going to be cyclical, up and down. The question is, what exactly do you do at that time? Are you prepared about it? So, us as small time investors always looking for ways to generate passive income, we always have to keep that in mind that it's always good to hold something in reserve called cash. You always want to make sure that you have a little bit of cash stashed away that when the market is down, you can take advantage. And I believe in previous episodes, we talked about how much should someone invest in the market. And I believe, it was about just saying that it can be as little as $10, right? Some of the cryptocurrency is so low that you can actually get a boatload of it just by putting in $10 or $20. Emilio, I think you are the one that made mention of your own investment strategy, how you went about starting really small. and getting into it. Can you just highlight that again, taking into perspective what has
Oh
happened?
yeah, definitely, man. My take was that I was so new. I just know I wanted to start something, a new venture, and I just started dipping money into like the stock market. I started $1 at Apple,
Yeah,
and then I started like $3 here, $3 and other stock, stock,
yeah,
not knowing what it was. I just know that I know about Apple.
yeah,
I know about Microsoft. I know about these big companies. So me knowing and being comfortable with such big corporations, I was like, let me put my money with them, But
yeah,
that was just the beginning,
yeah,
honestly. And then I just kind of kept digging. I really got addicted to it. Not to be honest. So every day I was like constantly looking at where I'm gonna put more money. I put, so that's just how I started. But I did start at $1 an Apple. That just my, to give you my thing, and then
yeah.
gradually I ended up getting more and more, and yeah. So I
I
was,
definitely love that story, right? Because
yeah,
again, we are looking for ways. I started with just as small an amount as what you mentioned. I think I bought through Robinhood. I don't remember the exact amount, but I got pulled in because they were offering, I think, some sort of like it was like a bonus if you would register an account, you would get like $25 worth or something.
yeah.
And
They give
I
you like a stock,
yeah,
stock or something.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, like a stock. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
got a Ford stock,
yeah,
and it's been stuck at I don't know how much the stock is right now, but I know it
right,
went slightly up. But the
yeah,
thing is, I didn't really put more money into the Ford stock, but it's actually gone up
yeah,
significantly. But the moral of the story here is that just because the stock market is down, the cryptocurrency market is down, it doesn't mean that we can't take advantage. We can always think about those type of periods by keeping just a little bit of cash on the side. Brian, what do you take? What's your take on this, notion? What's your strategy when the market is down or the market is up? Emilia, I'm gonna come back to you, but Brian, can you give us your take?
Yeah,
How would you handle this?
yeah. Like during this kind of time right now, I'm being very patient. I'm just kind of really buying into the stocks where places I do business in, because even though the market's down, there's places that are making a lot of money. So
Yeah,
like I'm being careful with like the startup companies, anything new innovation technology, kind of staying away for it until the knife stops dropping, and then
yeah,
I'm gonna get back into it. So
yeah,
like I'm looking at like stocks that you're actually spending money at, like Walmart, Costco, those places, Target, they're making money right now because
yeah,
everybody's still shopping online. Look at Walmart. They invented Walmart Plus during the pandemic. They were making so much money.
right.
Those kind of things you got to look at. There's money to be made in certain areas of the market. And then me, of course, I'm also put my money into my dividend stocks always. That constant passive income ain't going nowhere. So that's
right.
kind of my strategy right now. Holding off until everything kind of slows down in the week.
Hey, and this definitely takes us back to the story that we told during the last episode about dividend stocks, right?
Yep.
They are not too cool, but guess what? When the market is down or up, you still get your dividends.
Oh yeah.
Still, your dividends still come in. So the key here is really not to go all flashy,
Yeah.
right? There are growth stocks that are
Yeah.
good, but they are like on the high end. The Apple, or the FANG, as we know them, right? Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Maybe we can add Microsoft really and Tesla or Disney to that
Yeah,
particular
Yes,
group.
sir.
But those are stocks that will keep paying you, whether the market is up or down. So it's really all about thinking about your whole strategy on how you want to go about this or where you want to start. For me, I always look at stocks that I will not touch for the next couple of years just because I don't want to dabble into the everyday. So for me, it's all about trying to take advantage and putting in just a little bit more right now. But Emilio, I just want to get from you, what's your sentiment overall? Do you have anything else that you want to add before we jump onto our break? Before we take up.
as far as far as what again?
Yeah, as far as your sentiment about the market, right? How would you take it? What's your long term view? How do you plan to take advantage of this?
Oh, there's many ways, but I'll get into that, in a bit right now. But yeah, there's many different strategies that I do have in place right now.
Yeah,
What I'm gonna kind of expand just a little bit of it, but yeah,
Yeah.
do got something going on with it.
Absolutely, yeah. And we are going to be talking a little bit more about the about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. So at this point, one thing that we also want to highlight is that the market is actually changing because of something that the Fed said, right? And this is something that actually makes people kind of nervous whenever the Federal Reserve says anything about the interest rates going up. That kind of makes people kind of concerned, like, okay, how are the rates going to be, or what's going to happen? Are the banks going to increase the rates? Then they want to hold money back, so that kind of causes people to pull their money out of stocks, which causes some of those stocks to go down, to start diving. But from what I see after doing just a little bit of research, the Federal Reserve actually changes these rates about 8 times a year. But again, that's something that I need to double check. And if someone or the audience really has a better answer, please just let us know. Comment, drop a note, or just send us your feedback so that we have some sort of a secondary response right to this. But before we take our break, we just want to tell our audience, please do like, share, comment, let us know if you have any questions or interest. Until then, we are going to be back in about 60 seconds, so hang on, Anthony. Hello again. Welcome back to Creative Minds. This is Gerard. I am here with Emilio and Brian, and we're just talking about the stock market tanking and cryptocurrency just following suit. So, is there a correlation here between the stock market and cryptocurrency? Because I am noticing that whenever the stock market sneezes, the cryptocurrency
Shameful.
catches a cold, right? So it just tanks. If the stock market is going down, the cryptocurrency market also follows. So the question here is, why is it that the cryptocurrency, market is equally, dropping as well as the stock market? Brian, what's your take on this?
I look at it as both sides. People are trying to pull their money out of assets that are risky and just put them off and to see exactly what the Fed does, see what the new regulation is going to be at the beginning of the year, and how you're getting taxed. Because a lot of people they made so much money out of the beginning of the year. I'm sorry, the end of the last year. They also have to pay off, whatever they made to the federal government for tax purposes as well. So you'll see that volatility in the stock market going up and crypto now as well because a lot of
Yeah,
money is being made in that section too, and the government wants their 10%.
yeah.
So you're going to catch both sides of it. Usually dwindling down around the end of the month of December, and then growing on in early January, where we're at right now.
No, absolutely. Emilio, what do you think?
Yeah, just honestly, yeah, it's the same thing he was saying from the stuff I was reading. Basically due to the the rates and how everything's changing.
right,
Uh,
right.
and the federal something that's very important too for the people to know about the Federal Reserve is that when we say Federal Reserve doesn't mean we're talking about like a federal government because they're two different entities. And that's something I learned
Thank
when I was
you.
reading about it a while back. That
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, it's a Federal Reserve, but no, it's Federal Reserve. It's a privately owned, and the federal government is way different than the Federal Reserve. So just
right.
to keep in mind on that. But the from the meetings that how you just mentioned that have like different changes and different meetings that they do have several, but the one from December is the one that helps to change what they're going to do because they're doing it through projections of how he said like the trades that's going on, or like going with the inflation, along with inflation, what all the trades that has been done, like how he said, like the transfer of wealth that's going on. They see the
Yeah.
ups and downs, and they go based on those type of numbers. And so what correlates both of them is that it begins with the stock market. So whatever changes that they're making, of course cryptocurrency is right behind it, so they have to adjust as much as the stock market has to adjust themselves too. So, like he says, people pulling out money and moving, so that changes the dynamic of everything. And then people in cryptocurrency, maybe they take out from their crypto to put into more stock. So all that it goes hand in hand. So
Yeah.
I know for myself, I've done some stuff like that too, where I just take out from one like
Yeah.
stock or dip it more into like crypto. But that's just my understanding towards that.
Yep.
Right. No, absolutely. I do, I agree with you folks, about what you're saying here. One thing that is always amazing, to me is that cryptocurrency is 24/7, right?
Yeah, yeah, that
So
part.
for us that are here in the US, whenever we are waking up, the folks that are in Europe might have already taken out their money and everything is down. So, hey, we
Yeah.
just want to be able to remember that the time zone here is also something that might cause people to kind of have those type of fears. But normally when the market crashes, we just want to make sure that we can take advantage of it, even if it's just $5 that you can buy one or two currencies, or $10 for those that have a lot more and can risk, right, really putting it into a stock or a currency. Why not, right? When you take advantage, or when you take risk, high reward, that definitely shows here. Because the stock market, when we are talking about what's going to happen 2 to 3 years from now, the numbers are not going to be the same, right? But before we really dive into this, guys, what are some of the currencies that you think that people should even think about buying in the cryptocurrency space?
Well, for myself, I would, for me speaking with the coins, I would speak with Ethereum,
Yeah.
and because it has a big network,
Yeah.
which is known as a blockchain. But also keep in mind that Bitcoin and Ethereum work on two different blockchains. So with that said, any investment that I would start will go with Ethereum hands down. Mostly because you can buy NFTs only through the Ethereum network, and
Yeah.
that's something we should start getting into pretty soon. But just don't fall asleep on the meme coins. Also, you see Elon Musk, standing right behind it, and with that tweet that he sent. Um, it was pretty funny, and it makes you laugh, it's just funny what he said, and you
Yeah.
probably see it down there, the tweet that he said, and he said, let me see, I will eat a Happy Meal on TV if McDonald's says Dogecoin, but with that said, is the funny part is that it works on two different um, platforms, which is one is the stock market and one is
Yeah.
with the coin.
Yeah.
Says 2 in 1. So if you talk about McDonald's and if you have stock, maybe their stock plunges or it goes up, skyrockets. And
Yeah.
Dogecoin, the same thing. It has been down. I think it's at 0.14, 14 cents or whatever. But
Yeah.
it could still go up if it does happen. Imagine the effect it might take on that. So just don't fall back on the meme coins. But yeah, I will go with Ethereum, for the simple
Ethereum.
fact that it's backed up with NFTs and
Yeah.
what's going around that. NFT is going to be the biggest thing right now as far as art.
Right. Right. Sounds good. Hey, Brian, what would you say about, what are some of the currencies or currency that you would put out there for somebody to take advantage of right now? The, like the stock market is down. That's for sure. The stock and the cryptocurrencies.
I would say still Bitcoin, Ethereum, Crow, and BNB. So the Binance Chain, Ethereum network. We
Right.
saw those. Bitcoin at the high at 60,000,
Yeah.
Ethereum a high of 4,500, uh, Crow almost $1, and then BNB hit a high of like 600. So nothing has changed with those companies or those cryptos at all The smart chain is still working on real fine. The blockchain on it is working amazingly. It just, I think people just kind of, got out of the market for a second, or some people just took profits. Those chains are still alive and active, minimum every day.
Yeah,
It's nothing. You can only win by investing in them now because they're going to go back up. On
Yeah.
and you got to also watch out for like the fear that's being put out. I read about 5 or 6 articles a day about crypto is dead. So
yeah,
you got to watch out. That's coming from the old money, the dinosaurs, as I call it. They're trying to pass along that fear. So always got to watch out for them. But those are my favorite coins. I think they're
right,
gonna
right. And when I was looking at some of the currencies right now, something like Bitcoin is at 36,600, Ethereum is at 2,300, and
steal.
Tether or Binance is at 384. Um, I can guarantee you, I don't have a crystal ball that 2 or 3 years from now, those prices are not going to be the same, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
The
correct.
sell
prices are not
that.
going to be the same.
Yeah,
So that is definitely something that if there's anyone who wants to take advantage of the market or take advantage of basically just the market or the prices, this might be the best time right now to
it,
kind of
it
jump in. Yeah,
yeah, it is. It is. It's basically right now, like you said. 3 years from now, what the prices could look like. For people that have been following Bitcoin from back then to where it's now, it's still in a high place.
yeah,
Even if it fell down from the 60,000 where it was at to where if you look at the long run and the chart, it's still growing. So even if, like for Ethereum, like how I was just talking about Ethereum, if it's about 2,000 now and it moves up to 4,000, think about what if it does hit Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin is that high, right? And Ethereum is that low right now. Imagine 10 years from now, what if it does hit Bitcoin and you start with $4,000? Where will you be at right now, just with one quote? Can you imagine? I mean, those are the things that we got to think about
right.
now. So yeah, just going
I
back on that.
don't know if you guys can see screen. I just wanted to make sure. Can you guys see my screen?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
I just wanted to make sure that we capture this because these numbers are not going to be the same. This is what Bitcoin is right now. Ethereum is right here, and we can see how some of these other coins are. Right,
Cardano, yeah.
Cardano, the Solano, Terra Luna, Dogecoin that we're
Polkadot.
talking right? Now, these coins are definitely at their lowest right now. This is Crow that we have spoken about. It's at 39 cents.
Yeah.
A couple of like a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about 50 cents, but it's at 39 right now.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just interesting just to see how these numbers are changing. Of course, I will want to make sure that anybody who can take advantage,
Take
please do.
advantage. Yeah.
Brian, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I like to go back and read, history and stuff like. So if you go back to like 2013, 2014, you'll see
Yeah.
like articles. Oh, Bitcoin hit $10 and then it dropped back down to 6, and people were
Yeah.
panicking.
Same thing.
You're like, oh, it's a crash.
Yeah.
Here we are at $36,000 Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
This will
Yeah.
happen if you just hold on.
Yeah. No, hey, one thing that we have said all over, right, during this show is that people just need to be careful, just be risk tolerant and know exactly where you're putting your money. But this show is broken down into three, and we are going to be taking our second break, but we always want to let our audience know that we are here for them. Emilio, why don't you lead us out to the break? Let them know exactly what we want them to know.
Oh, well, but I want them. Well, how can I say? Well, let me see. Just we'll talk about with the audience, whatever it is that they ask,
Yep,
and just go with that
absolutely.
right now, just
Just
whatever,
follow
yeah,
us,
just whatever
you know,
question asks, yeah, just go
exactly.
based on that.
Drop a note, yeah, comment, share, let us know what your thoughts are. We are here. We want to be able to engage as many folks as possible. So until then, we are going to be back in 60 seconds, as always. All right.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, folks. This is the third segment of our show where we always go back to our audience. We let them know that we are here and we definitely, want to keep them engaged. And we always want to have comments, feedback, or anything that they have to share. So it's always good to hear back from those that are watching the episodes. Thank you for checking it out. But I think we do have someone that has a question. Brian, do you want to pull that out or let us know exactly what they're asking?
Yeah, so I got the question here. It's how often does the Fed change the interest rate? So that's gonna you're gonna see that like annual every well actually no at the beginning of the year they'll change it based
Yeah,
off of what happened last year, the price
right,
comparisons from the previous months. They'll try to basically figure out, okay, what was the cost of milk, for example, how has it risen, what do we have to adjust the interest rates for the banks, and that affects all of your growth stocks and everything like that, because those companies have to dish out more money, they have to borrow more money, banks have to lower the
right.
basically update themselves to figure out what happened, what's going to go on with the interest
Yeah.
rate this year.
No, that does make sense. And from I think I did mention earlier that I read somewhere that the Fed, changes these rates 8 times a year.
Mhm.
But there's always that one or two changes that people take note of, right? If it's going to be up or if it's going to be really down. So that's when you really see the markets, shifting.
Mm.
So again, our audience, there are experts out there. If there's anything that we can know about this information, please do share with us, right? But one thing that we want to talk about is how is your strategy going to be, right, Emilio Bryan, moving forward, right, when these markets are going up and down, right? What's your strategy going to be like in investing? Should you pull out or should you be in there going up and down? What's your take, Emilio?
For my strategies will be the compound interest. It's just
Yeah,
compound. So if I put in $5,
yep,
I'm gonna put another five, let it compound, put another five or another 10, another 20, and just keep going whenever I get a chance. So, but I want to make sure I'm putting in different markets and in
yep,
different coins. So it won't just be like what they always said is the rule of thumb. It's never put all your eggs in one basket, because if you
absolutely.
lose that basket, then you lose everything. So
That's it.
but that's the strategy right now. Just putting money in different coins,
Yep,
different stocks, and dividend stocks too. And
absolutely.
that's really it right now. That's just the strategy right
Yeah,
now. Just put in, like I said, put in more money in different coins and
sounds
different
good.
stocks.
Diversifying your portfolio for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Brian, what's your own take here? How do you approach the market, right, in the next couple of weeks or months? What's your strategy?
My strategy right now lower some of my average costs on my dividend stock. This is the time to bring that cost down. So even if dividend stocks do fall a little bit, but you still want to bring your average cost down. That way
Hmm.
your portfolio isn't totally red. And
Yeah,
then kind of easing off the stocks until the market bottoms out. During the last market drop, the market dropped in February. It didn't really stop dropping until like around April into May. That's so you got to kind of watch. Don't be putting money into like heavily into the stock market because everything will just
right.
keep falling. So you got to kind of level off, hold your money, but still keep an eye on it and listen to the news and constantly watch what's going on. That's one thing, especially if you're an investor. And whatever you do, just
Absolutely.
hold on, don't sell, because then it's a
Yeah,
realized loss at that point. So
true, true. Pay attention to the market,
yeah,
right? I mean, from my end, I think I have said it here before. I am more of a long-term guy,
yep.
right? I try not to sell, regardless of the circumstance, unless it's a really dire situation where that company or that stock is really might be going like out, like they are getting out of the whole game of investment. For me, I always go for stocks that I really see myself using in 10, 20 years. So if for some reason the stock is down, I would look for ways to add just a little bit more into it because I know, even historically, the market has always been going up, some sort of a hockey stick, type of a curve, right? So I always see that as an opportunity where I just want to make sure that I try to chip in something when the markets are down, and then if maybe I have to sell, it's going to be have to be when it's really really high. But I try not to sell. I'm more of a long term person, right? So I really try not to play the market. I don't have a crystal ball, so I just go with my instincts, and then I just do what I gotta do. But do you guys have any other tips, right, for our folks that just want to make passive income? They are really not that savvy on what to do. Any tips, right, for them?
For,
Who's gonna take it?
for me,
Right.
I like to tell people, especially down this type of market, like
Yep.
surround yourself with people that invest. It'll encourage you not to sell, be afraid of what's going on in the market, and also you can learn new ideas from different people. There's plenty of different options inside the stock market to make money. You can sell
Yep.
options on stocks. You can buy puts. You can also purchase dividend stocks, and then of course, cryptocurrency, just hold those, and those things will go
Yeah.
up on you. But those are serious investing strategies right there. This
Yeah.
is the best
Absolutely.
time to be learning, like, why you're in the middle of a crash, of how to,
Yeah.
persevere through a crash.
True.
Yeah,
True.
that's a great way to put it, man. Just surrounding yourself with people who are investing. If you're trying to
Mhm.
get into that market,
Mhm.
put it into your mind, and somehow one way or another, the universe will attract that for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I take it back to like honestly with like Meek Mill, and I think I spoke about him the other episode. You look at him now; he has surrounded himself with whatever he was going on with the trial that he was going on in his life, and he surrounded himself with billionaires, with
Yes.
people that are really making big moves, and as he surrounded himself with that, his life started changing for a different like purpose. You get me? So, from being from the streets, to being on probation for 10 years, having people backing him up like Jay Z, helping him out with the court stuff. So it does take what who you surround yourself with, and if you really want to hit big in the big world, it's just who you surround yourself with, who you align with too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's so true. I mean, it goes without saying that your environment definitely determines or it makes who you are, right? It shapes you, it molds you. And they always say that, if you can call three or four of your friends, they will tell you exactly what type of person you are. So
Right.
I do agree with you guys. If anybody wants to make those type of moves, you want to be able to look at those people on Instagram. There are places to follow them. Instagram, Twitter. I mean, social media has made it so easy that any of us right here can actually sit down and listen to what Warren Buffett has to say,
Yeah.
right? But he is miles away just by checking his Instagram feed or whatever he tweets or anything. It's just so easy, right? Just to be able to be right close to those people that are making those big moves. And I do agree with you guys, but again, we just want to encourage anyone who is thinking about taking that leap into the stock market or cryptocurrency. It's just all about making that first move. Just make that move, buy your one or two stock, see how it feels, right? Take that step, learn from the ropes, and again, we are here to make sure that we are able to answer some questions from folks. If we don't know it, we are going to call somebody else that knows about it, right? So we are all learning here. So any last words for our audience, guys? Emilio?
Yeah, for me is thank you for our new subscribers, people who subscribe to our channel. You guys are making it for us, to give out more content. You guys are the strength behind us, and thank you for the questions, for just watching it, even if it's whatever minutes you watch. I hope something in there changes the way you move with at least with your money.
Yeah,
Uh, uh, Even if it's the slightest thing. But that's what we're here for. Any question you guys have, just comment, share, and everything. For real, like I know it's gonna change for sure, and we are gonna change all as well. Our
right.
content as we go along, and our
Yeah.
following becomes more strong, which it will. And I promise you that that's a promise. We're gonna look back
Absolutely.
at episode 5 and we'll see.
Absolutely. Brian, any last words?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Y'all, thank y'all for upping the subscriber crowd, sharing the videos, liking and subscribing. Like, this is meaningful to us. We want to get that information out to y'all. We enjoy just talking about this stuff. It's important. You know, so we appreciate that everything
Absolutely.
y'all are doing.
Again, thank you to our audience. Let us know if you have any comments, feedback, like, share. I think these two gentlemen have said it all, right? So until then, we are looking forward to having the next episode next week. Have a good week, and let's see whether the market is going to go up or down again. All right.
Yeah.
You guys have a good week. Bye bye.
All right, man. Peace out.
Hey, yeah. Peace.